How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets are taking a bit of a beating today. We have 3.5 hours left in the session, and the S&P's down 0.3%, the Dow's down 0.1%, the Nasdaq 100's down 0.8%, and the Russell's down 0.7%. So we got to break it down in this video. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, smash the like button, grab your $50 from M1 Finance, check out my Patreon. All of those are linked down below, and let's get right into the video. So we got some news this morning, today in general, and there is some concern that growth is slowing down out there. Data showed Chinese economic growth slowing more than expected. China's retail sales increased by 8.5% in July, year over year, below the 11.5% forecast from economists polled by Reuters. So 8.5%, that's pretty good, but when guidance is, estimates are missed, that's not the best. And we lost or missed by about 3% compared to the economists polled by Reuters. Online sales gained just 4.4% for the month. On the manufacturing sector in the country, industrial production increased by 6.4%, also below the 7.8% consensus estimate. And we're seeing that happening in China. On top of that, the Delta variant is increasing. We just hit a high in the CV infections, about a 4-month high right now. And maybe this slowing in growth will seep over to the United States. Who knows? Maybe these next couple of quarters won't be as spectacular as they have been in the past couple of quarters. And that's kind of freaking out the overall markets right now. And it's nothing that crazy. I mean, again, SPY's only down 0.3, Dow Jones 0.1. Nasdaq and Russell 0.7, 0.8% roughly down, but we did get a pullback. You guys can see on the hourly chart, we're right around that 180 moving average. We hit about 442 earlier in the day, down about 4 points from where we were on Friday, which we did hit an all-time high on Friday and pre-market today, if you're counting that one-off candle when it comes down to SPY. And one thing worth mentioning, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. SPY's holding the uptrend. Yes, we are holding the uptrend despite the slowing growth, increase in cases, 4-month high, all that. We're still holding an uptrend, and we're trying to rally off of that low from today. Now, will we succeed in doing so? Will SPY end up turning green throughout the rest of the day? It very well could happen, but we obviously have no idea. Unless you out there somehow have the magic 8-ball, you have the ability to see the future, nobody knows what is going to happen. And we're going to be watching this and how it plays out for the rest of the day. And, of course, we're going to break it down even further on my next video later today. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you want to keep up with all my daily content, because let me tell you, I'm putting in a lot of work here on the YouTube channel and over on Patreon, which again, you can join that linked right down below. So let's break down some stocks that I'm personally looking at right now that I'm considering buying the dip on. Number one is Apple, AAPL. Apple, at this point in time, is completely breaking out. We got the dip to about 147. Now we're above 149. You can see on the 4-hour chart here, we are breaking slowly but surely the wedge that we were in. You know, we've been making lower highs and higher lows at the same time. We're also holding above the 180 SMA here and the 50 SMA, which is great. And this is awesome. I mean, what else can I say? This, in my opinion, is now poised to go mid-150s, maybe even $160 per share. We've been in this range of consolidation over the past roughly month at this point, bouncing around 145, 150, and now it's bound to break out. So that is one that I'm looking at, and in fact, it's already breaking out, and it's still early in the breakout process. So that is one I'm looking at. Google is another one I'm looking at, although this one barely is down. It's down about 1%, nothing too crazy. And I'd love to see if this ultimately gets to the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, this gold line, which has held numerous on countless occasions over the past couple of months. You guys can see back in January, we bounced at 1800. March, we bounced at 2050. May, we bounced there. And again, many times over the past couple of months. So now that we are seeing a bit of a retracement, will it go lower? I hope it does, to be honest, so I could average more into my position. And Google is one of those stocks, guys, that whenever it dips 5-10% from its all-time high, I'm buying more. And I'm just holding on because I know in my heart, guys, I'm going to be holding this stock 5, 10, 15 years down the line, and I think it's going to be a lot bigger of a company over the next 5, 10 years, even though it's a massive company already. And you guys have to realize a lot of countries out there, they're not as developed as the United States. And people are in this bubble, especially in, first world countries. They think the internet's everywhere. Google's everywhere. But the truth is, it's not. Google's only growing. The search engine's growing. YouTube, of course, I believe is extremely underrated. That is growing like a weed right now. And it's not going anywhere. I mean, what are you guys watching this video on? YouTube, right? So yeah, Google I'm looking at. Moderna is one that, sorry to say I told you so, but I told you so. This stock got way too hot. I believe it went up 80% over the past 3 weeks, which is just disgusting. I mean, come on. It actually doubled. Ever since 13th of July, it was 244. It went all the way to 500 pretty much. That's a double. And I told you guys, be careful. It's lofty. It's most likely going to pull back. And what do you know? It's down $130 from that peak. It's down 30%. We failed holding the 50 SMA, which tried holding, last week. Didn't do it. And now we're going to the 180 SMA at about 312. 320, 330. I feel like that is where buyers will start stepping in yet again on Moderna. And if you look at the trend, I mean, over the past 6, 7, 8 months at least, we've held this uptrend. We've held the moving averages. So is it crazy to think that we bounce on the 180 SMA again? I don't really think it's crazy. So I'm watching it exactly for that reason, right around 300. 320, 330. That means there could be a little bit more downside. So keep that in mind. So Moderna, I personally like it more as a trade, and Docusign as well. Docusign ripped so aggressively after earnings. It went from 195 all the way to 315. That was a move of $120 per share, or about 40%. And it's cooling off a bit. Now it's down from 315 to 285, down about 10%, and we're fighting to hold that 180 moving average. And one thing that's a bit worrisome is we are seeing one heck of a bearish divergence. Look down here at the RSI, and then look at the actual stock. It's losing steam right now as we've been making higher highs, higher lows. So that means there could be more downside here, especially if we collapse under the 180 estimate at about 280, 285. But we're not doing that yet, which is why I still have hope for maybe a bounce back here on Docu, maybe back to 300, 305, 310, maybe even 315. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And look at my watch list. I mean, all of these stocks, other than 5 or 6, at least on my watch list, are getting annihilated today. I mean, NEO's down 6%. Robinhood is down the same, about 6%. Tesla is down 4 or 5% right now, more close to 5%, which could also be a play here off of that 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart. I mean, AMD's down 3%, SoFi's down 3%, Palantir's down 3%, and the list goes on. It's not looking pretty out there whatsoever right now. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. And again, I'll break this stuff down more in my video later on today. So make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And while you're at it, you might as well smash the like button. It helps me out. I really appreciate it. And that's the most, the freest way, is that even a word? I don't know. That's the freest way you can support the channel, by simply liking the video and subscribing. I really and truly appreciate it, guys. And if you want to support the channel even further, get exclusive updates, buys, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, and much more, check out my Patreon down below, or you guys can go to StasSurfS.com/Patreon. That's StasSurfS.com/Patreon. Make sure to also snag up your $50 from M1 Finance and your 2 stocks from Webull. Both of those are free, linked right down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out, guys.